Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late January 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Scorpio collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you have for Scorpio gang in late January as we move on into Aquarius season? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Scorpio in late January. What's the vibe here for my good friends? Let's get this card out nice and quick. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. Yeah, this beautiful, dreamy, watery sign energy that I've been seeing for all the water signs this week, and we often see at the beginning of a Scorpio reading. I love the internal facing vibe that this card gives me. Not only is it a beautiful image, but the energy feels softer, which can be good. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the January subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on the third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card, this image. So we see this beautiful etheric dreamscape type background. There's this big clock up there and the numbers are flying off, so it does feel like a dream. And it can speak about a liminal space where time doesn't exist. So whenever I think of that, I think of the dream world, the astral plane, all that kind of stuff. So when I see this inward facing energy, sure, could it literally be speaking about sleep? If you're not getting proper rest and relaxation, sure, it could be that. Maybe you're having some really interesting vivid dreams that spirit wants you to keep an eye on. Maybe spirit's trying to commune with you through dreams. Very possible. But this is that classic creative water sign energy. So just know, if you're dealing with some intense energies, spirit might want you to express it through creative means. So whether that's writing, whether that's art and sculpting or music, there needs to be some sort of release of this energy because it can build up quite a bit. I love the creativity. I love the thinking outside the box. This can also be great for anything spiritual. So whether it's meditation, altered states of consciousness, prayer, any of that, it's all good when I see this card. The only downside to this is being in Fantasyland a little too long, or, I mean, overthinking, or, you know, it's nothing wrong with being prepared and thinking about a situation from a variety of different angles. But this card can sometimes overthink or overcomplicate. So we're just going to let her chill out right there. She's having a minute. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for Scorpio gang. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Pretty good, in my opinion. The reading was titled A Shocking Win, and we did have a tower show up, but it felt like a good tower to me, especially since it was a Scorpio reading. And I always say that all wins come in different shapes and sizes, right? So whether it's a monetary, whether it's a really great day, whether it's a conversation you have, it could be anything. But to me, it felt like it was one that kind of came out of the blue, one that you weren't expecting. So if that hasn't happened, hopefully that comes in for you. Like, to me, it just seemed like it was not there, then it's there. It was very quick. So let's see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Scorpio gang. What do we got in late January, please? King of Swords. Okay, this has been a regular visitor in all of the water sign readings this week, I believe. So we got this very strong, strategic King of Swords energy right here on the front. So maybe we're seeing other people. Let's get a couple more. Thank you. 5 of Wands. Okay. This is giving me reminiscent vibes to the Pisces reading. Let's get one more. One more here for Scorpio. Thank you. Yep. Okay. So there is a lot of energy conflicting. Okay, I'll tell you that, because we have a lot of energies that think that they are right. So we're going to have to really look at this from a variety of different ways, because there are some strong authority figures showing up this week, Scorpio. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, before we get into the fine detail of all these cards and what they could possibly be, let's talk about the elements. A lot of fire and some air. And that's a very common thing in my Scorpio readings for some reason. There's like always some fire there. It does have that energy, but we have air, fire, a little bit of earth grounding it down in the bonus, which is cool. Now, when it comes to air, this is an energy that is very strategic, it's smart, it's pragmatic, it's extremely intelligent, it's great for strategy and planning and communication. The downside to air energy is the fact that sometimes it could be a little cold, a little detached, a little mean. So that's something we're going to need to keep an eye on. Then we have the fire with the Five of Wands and the Emperor. And fire energy to me is vitality. It's that inner fire that burns within us. So it's action, whether it's the actions you take or the actions other people take or the actions you decide not to take. That's what I think of with fire. It burns hot. It's something that we feel strongly about. The downside to fire, obviously, could be explosive, right? It could be a little uncontrollable. It could be a little unpredictable. So here on the back end for the bonus, we do also have some earth, which does ground it down. Earth energy to me does represent feelings of stability, feelings of security. It could also represent monetary things, work-based things, finance, home, family. So the material world we live in. The only downside with Earth is that sometimes it could be a little too set in its ways. But I don't think that's going to be a huge problem, especially with all this fire and air going on. And for a lot of you, this could just be other people's stuff. Like that's another thing I'm picking up. This could be outside noise, like not even you contributing to it. But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we're starting with the King of Swords. And the reason I'm like, okay, we got something going on here is because we have an authority figure, authority figure, authority figure, and this Five of Wands in the center. So these are obviously energies that seem to be either power struggling or pushing back and forth against each other. This is something we need to keep a close eye on. But the King of Swords could represent an air sign you're connected to. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And what do we know about kings? In tarot, kings represent control of their respective suit. So we already spoke about the suit. It's planning, it's strategy, it's very pragmatic, it's smart, it's intelligent, it controls the flow of information as well. So when I see the King of Swords, either it's planning something or it's controlling the flow of information or controlling how something is viewed. The downside to the King of Swords, sometimes it could be serious. Sometimes it could be very mean, very cold. So this is something we want to keep a very close eye on. Now, again, it could just be a strategy or a plan of some kind. We'll look into that as well. But, I mean, there might be pushback. That's the thing I'm already picking up because we have this King of Swords, but then there seems to be pushback coming from the other end. So it's going to be intriguing to see how all this plays out. And again, I'm feeling for a lot of Scorpios, all this stuff might not even be yours, depending on what it is. Now, moving to the middle, as we get this King of Swords tucked right back in by this Amethyst, maybe that'll help chill him out. We got the Five of Wands, and this is one of those classic cards where I always say you don't need to be a tarot expert to understand it, right? Like we got five people, they're going to battle. They're beating each other up with sticks, right? So we'll go with the good aspects first. This is a card of determination where it's like it doesn't matter what the situation, it doesn't matter what the problem is. When I say I'm going to do something, I will follow through. There is no quit here. So this is a huge card of determination and continuing to push. So I like that. No plans on giving up. Cool. But the downside, yeah, it can represent problems. It can be a warning about pushback and things that are getting in our way where like sometimes the energy around us just works for us and works with us. Sometimes it seems like we're getting pushback from a lot of angles. Really watch out for getting pulled into other people's stuff, especially with all these like authority figures and this Five of Wands here. It's like just watch you don't get pulled into other people's stuff here, Scorpio, because there could be funky group dynamics. Now moving to the back end, yeah, this Five of Wands could get a little out of hand sometimes. But on the back end, we have the Emperor himself. So big Aries energy. So if you're connected to an Aries or you have an Aries placement like me, I mean, this could be representative of you. But when I see the Emperor, what do I call him? I call him the King of Kings. This is like big boss type of energy. So whereas like this energy wants to have control and have a plan, this one is like, no, it's my show. This is my plan. What I say goes. So we have this pushback happening. Even with the Hierophant, we'll talk about him in a moment. Even though that energy is more chill, it's very sturdy. The Emperor's not all bad. It does get a reputation. This card is great for making stuff happen. This is great for kicking things into action, especially with the Five of Wands. So if there's something you've been delayed with or waiting on or been holding off from, the Emperor's a good energy because it's like, all right, let's do this. Like it's very amped up. But it can be overbearing. It can be a very controlling type of energy. So whereas like the front end, it's like we have the control of information or we have the control with how something is viewed. The Emperor is controlling the pace or the action. So we have like this pushback. I know I'm getting very specific. Only take it how it hits for you. Then here on the back end, real quick, we have the Hierophant, big Taurus energy. And although it is solid, stable, it can represent tradition. It can represent day-to-day life and routine. It's not budging, right? That's the big thing with the Hierophant. This is an energy that does not bend or budge. It is what it is. So, and it's an authority figure. So you see what I mean? Like there's all these energies, but they're pushing against each other. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Scorpio. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay. Let's get a good shuffle here. See what's happening. Let's get to the bottom of this. God, spirit, and yeah, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the King of Swords. See what he has. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you have any messages you want to give to Scorpio, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the King of Swords here? Why is the King of Swords here? Wow. All right, we got the King of Cups in reverse. So yet again, another king, yet again, another player. And this energy to me is like, yeah, no more Mr. Nice Guy, no more Mr. Nice Gal. That's the vibe where it's like, oh yeah, no, I used to be little Mr. King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself without a beard in reverse. Not anymore. It's like no more Mr. Nice Guy, no more Mr. Nice Gal. I'm going to take a different approach here. So there is this energy that really seems like it's about its business and it's like very, very serious. And it's like, I'm not playing nice anymore. So again, I'm not sure if that's you. No judgment here if that's you. But this is an energy where it's like, you know, I've been nice and nice didn't work. So I'm not going to be nice anymore. Watch out for that. Again, a big thing I'm feeling here, Scorpio, for a lot of you is getting pulled into other people's stuff. Or like these energies would try to recruit you. Like, hey, Scorpio, this is what's going on. You should help me out, or you should be on my side. No, you should be on my side. Like there's this energy where it's trying to pull you in. So just watch out for that. But this energy seems very, very serious in the front, especially with the King of Cups in reverse, because it gives me an energy of someone that'll steamroll another person. Right, like the King of Swords and the King of Cups in reverse. It's like I'm not playing nice. I'm not playing by the rules, and I will steamroll you. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Now there is like this pushback. Listen, a lot of this stuff I'm saying here, Scorpio, I know these are things that do not fly well with Scorpios. As a Scorpio moon myself, I know this is energy that does not fly with Scorpios. Let's keep going over. I already feel like this could be a warning. Whether it's you getting pulled into other people's stuff or if this is how someone's acting, like the energy itself seems too aggressive for my liking. Let's go in on the Five of Wands. Let's see what that has. So why is the Five of Wands here? Okay. Yeah, this energy just like pops. It just pops off. And we have the Devil. So like another, I mean, Capricorn. The Devil could also be seen as a more authoritative card. So it's like we got power struggle energy here all over the place. Where it's like, I'm in charge. No, I'm in charge. No, I'm in charge. Well, if I don't get my way, I'm going to do this. And no, if I don't get my way, then I'm going to do that. Well, if you do that, then I'm going to do this. It's very tit for tat. That's what I'm picking up here this week, Scorpio. So I do believe that this could be a serious warning overall. Whether this is like people trying to draw you into their stuff or even stuff you got going on around you. I know Scorpios don't like drama. I know Scorpios, they'll be in their lane, they'll stay in their own mode. But so I don't know why this energy is here, like someone trying to get you on their side or recruit you. The Devil in the upright is similar, believe it or not, to the Hierophant, where it's like a firm, earthy, set type of energy. So when I see it in reverse underneath this Five of Wands, it's like we're going to topple something. We are going to change something by force. So when I see this energy, no more Mr. Nice Person, Five of Wands, Devil in reverse, I'm going to change something by force. This energy is very touchy. This energy is very, very touchy. And if you don't respond well to this type of pressure, this is something that should be a little concerning, honestly. And I keep it as real as I can with the readings I do, especially for Scorpio readings. This does not feel like energy Scorpio would respond well to. So if you're cross watching, just know like maybe tone the pressure down or something needs to get toned back. What's going on the Emperor? Because it's getting me flustered here. It's getting me flustered. So why is the Emperor here for Scorpio gang? What's the Emperor here? Thank you. And then this energy comes in and like sets things right, so to speak. So to speak. We're not going to say like it's perfect, but it's like there's mayhem, there's chaos going on up here, there's a lot going on, and then this energy comes in and it's like, all right, we're going to stop that. So for some of you, maybe you're the problem solver, right? Like maybe you're watching something unfold from a distance, or you're going through something and it's a bit of a struggle, and then finally you're like, okay, now I'm going to do something about it. Because that's the vibe I pick up here with the Emperor and the Ace of Wands in the upright. It's like, okay, I held my tongue for long enough. I sat back for long enough. Now I'm going to say something. Now I'm going to do something. So it's kind of like pouncing. That's how the vibe feels to me. It's like, all right, this I was letting it see if it could all work itself out. But you know what? Now I need to get involved. So that's why there's this serious warning overall. Now, again, that doesn't have to be you. It could be someone else. It's like another party coming in. So, like, if you're having an issue with somebody, another person could come in, and it just muddies the waters. But like this energy is the one that brings order, or tries to, at least tries to set things or get them under control. Ace of Wands, very fiery. Could be a conflict card as well. I think you're picking up what I'm putting down, Scorpio. I don't even think I need to get too far into the weeds with this Ace of Wands under the Emperor, right? Like the Emperor swings this stick, right? That's the vibe I'm picking up with the Emperor and the Ace of Wands, where the energy comes in with its wand and it makes stuff happen. Um, so it's a little wild, Scorpio. It is a little bit of a wild energy this week. So if that does not sound nice and that does not sound appealing to you, you might want to lay low. I'll tell you, I know I'm gonna. So let's go through and do a quick recap, and we'll get into the shadows. So overall, yeah, I'd say it's a pretty serious warning in this week's reading. Again, I'm not saying that everything in your life is going to go haywire, but it just, to me, it feels like there's just way too much conflicted energy, and there's too much friction. Position number one, we have the King of Swords with the King of Cups in reverse. This is an energy that would steamroll over somebody. But another vibe I was getting here is like, I'm not playing by the rules anymore, or I'm not going to play nice anymore. So it's an energy where it's like, I've been nice, nice doesn't work. Moving into the middle, we have the Five of Wands with the Devil in reverse. I will change something by force. That's the main overarching theme I pick up here. It is conflict. We do have warnings. We already spoke about it. On the back end, we have the Emperor with the Ace of Wands. This energy swoops in to get everything in order. It's like trying to bring order out of chaos, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not sure if this is you, if there's a situation or something you sit back from for a while, and then it's like, you know what, now I need to get involved. Now I need to say something. It's given me shades of that, but just know, like, if something's popping off with the people around you, or if something's going on with you and another person, there is going to be another entity that comes in to settle the beef, if that makes sense. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, yeah, that was a reading. But yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, give us something else aside from an authority person, please. Let's see, or whatever. It could be an authority person. Let's see what's in the shadows. King of Wands. All right, we got another king, my good friends. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised. So yeah, it's like we have the whole crew here. We have like all the elements present. We got like all the kings. The only one we're missing is the King of Pentacles, but the Hierophant could take that place. We got the King of Wands in the shadows. So the good thing about the King of Wands, because I'm not just going to keep piling on the challenge. The thing with the King of Wands that I like is the fact that it knows where to put its energy. It knows where its energy is wasted. It knows where it needs to put more energy. So for a lot of Scorpios in this time, it's very important to not waste your energy on things. You only put your energy where it is best served when it is necessary. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your effort on things that I don't want to say that don't matter because that sounds like really mean and cold. But that's a big thing with the King of Wands, where the energy just, I'm not going to waste my energy here. I'm going to put it there. Usually it can be very outgoing, but with a spread like we just had this week, Scorpio, the fact that the King of Wands is in the shadows is a very unpredictable type of energy. That's the shadow side of the King of Wands, where it meddles in things that it shouldn't, and it gets into business that it shouldn't. So just watch out for that. I've seen it throughout the reading time and time again this week about getting pulled into other people's stuff or pulled into things that aren't necessarily yours. The King of Wands here is just very spontaneous. So watch for the urges, watch for the temper. So we're going to let him chill out right there. I mean, unless you're connected to a fire sign, but we have all the elements here. But we'll let him chill out right there, Scorpio. That's what I got for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The January subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation, or if you'd like to see what 2026 has in store for you, you can book a personal reading with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The January schedule's already up, so you could go check it out and see what's available. It's going quick, but for the January subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Everyday Witches Tarot. It's absolutely adorable and is great for readers of all skill levels. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments from today's reading, which card spoke to you the most. Even if the reading didn't quite hit, which card was giving you those warm and fuzzies or really caught your attention. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.